Okay, so you don't trust yourself to hold success. Let's handle that. Okay? One of the first reasons why I feel like you're not trusting yourself to hold success is because one of your missions is to take down, let me be wise with how I say this, is to counteract people who have financial power with a new reality. Okay? And that's a good thing, right? I'm with you. Okay? I'm going to share a little story with you before I start picking cards, okay? I, for me personally, I have dealt with this, and one of the issues that I had was I didn't want to lose the essence of who I am and who God has created me to be to get money, right? So part of me was very, very fearful that I would lose my caring, sincere, genuine, authentic heart having to go after money. And let me tell you, something that I learned that is true is if you're going after money in the wrong way, that's not aligned with God and the things that God says. Oh, I kind of pulled that one, stretched it a little bit, right? Then you may be compromising your integrity to get the money. You may be compromising the integrity of not just your choices, but the integrity of your body, right? Like, I remember when I used to drive Uber, and because it was hard for me to believe that I could get more money in a different way at the time. And so Uber was the easiest thing, but it cost me my hips, it cost me my knees, it cost me my muscles, right? It cost me the integrity of my body. And so it took a lot more work to get my body back together after I stopped driving Uber, because that was a compromise I made to get the money. And in essence, that happens in a lot of different ways when we don't believe that we can make money in the light that God has shown us and make a lot of it, right? Like, can I really become a very wealthy person as an artist? Yes, if you do it the smartest. I like that, right? If you do it the smartest, like God, right? You sure can. And you have to believe it first. Like, the leverage we have as gods is the power of our thoughts, the power of our imagination, right? And you have been initiated into this level of power. And if you have not yet, then you will be, and you will be tested, okay? But if you've passed the test, then now you need to use that power to manifest in a way that God has shown you you can. Okay, now's the time for me to pick a card about why you don't trust yourself to hold success and how we're going to handle that, okay? What's something you used to talk about all the time but now feels irrelevant to your evolution, okay? And then another card came out again that we had recently. Okay? What's something you used to talk about all the time but now feels irrelevant to your evolution? And then pretend to be your 20-year-old self, your 20-year-old version of self giving you advice right now. Your 20-year older version. So 20 years in the future, what would you say to yourself right now about holding success, okay? And your ability to trust it. So I feel like I need to give you my Monopoly story, okay? My mama, because she's a powerful manifester, she, spades and Monopoly, okay? Those are manifesting games, okay? And I've learned as a woman, playing games is actually a great way to exercise my manifesting muscles in a safe, controlled manner, right? Where there's a low risk, right? And so I would play Monopoly with my mother, but a few years ago, it's quite a few years ago now, I remember when I was really dealing with this topic in a heavy manner. Like, I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice everything. I'm still willing to sacrifice everything, right? But I was willing to not have money to be godly and righteous. But something felt off about it still, and God kept trying to tell me, like, I hear you, but you're not hearing me. You are supposed to live abundantly because you have been qualified to be able to use and have the money with integrity. And I'm like, I hear you, God, but I'm scared. I'm scared. Right? And so I remember this one time I was playing Monopoly with my mother several years ago. And I would lose every time, and I would lose proudly because I didn't want to fight. And I don't want to have to try and get ahead of anybody to try and get the property, right? But I remember this one time while we were playing, God was dealing with me real tough. And God was showing me, okay, you don't have to have malice in your heart, but I do need you to get this property, okay? Because, and I'm not saying my mother is the villain, right? But let's just take her out of the picture now and aim it towards real life. God was like, there are people who have malice in their heart, and they want to get the property, and they want to get the land, and they want to get everything to not only control people, but to control the earth. They don't care about the well-being of animals. They don't care about the well-being of forests. They don't care about the ocean being clean and how it actually affects our ecosystem. They don't care about the skies and having balanced systems and seasons that are natural. They don't care about natural health. They don't care about Afro-American wealth. They don't care about melanated people at all, right? And then there are melanated people who don't care about melanated people, right? And God was like, they have been perpetuating evil and negativity in this world. And if we don't have righteous people to stand up and counteract it, then your imagination could go on to see what the end would be, right? And I was like, oh, shoot. So then I said, okay, I guess I have to play the game. I guess I have to play the game to win in God's name. And that's the same thing that I'm telling you. The way you can trust yourself to hold success is to do it from a godly view and understand why you are needed in high value, high successful positions, high, powerful positions. Because when you are righteous, you have a different level of protection. Okay? A whole different level of protection. And I'm not going to get into past leaders who may or may not have been unalived, right? But I do know it's very important, especially when you are in a high position of power and responsibility, to maintain a righteous nature for your protection. And so the best way to trust that you can hold success is to be righteous. Because what that does is protect you from lower frequency nature. When you're vibrating, let's just go to the matrix, okay? And apply Neo to this equation and frequency. From the perspective that I am looking at, Neo had to remove fear and replace it with a knowing that was so smooth that even without knowing all the aspects of what's going to happen, when you are in the flow state, you will just automatically move and navigate and have the necessary downloads you need to protect yourself, even from something that's coming fast at you without your knowledge. You will know how to just move. This is intuition and godly flow, right? Which is why we have to be balanced in mind, body, spirit, family, and business on a supernatural level. Because if we're only maintaining our being on the human perspective, then we become subservient to those frequencies and captured only in the natural perspective. But when we rise above it into our cosmic nature, now we rise above the human laws. And this is when we get into superpowers, okay? Super abilities and super protection beyond human technologies. And so that's another thing that I'm sensing about you being afraid of holding success, is you're afraid of being unalived because of your righteous nature in doing what you feel like you need to do to be successful. And my voice to you is, I hear you. I hear you. But you need to be more than just righteous. You need to be cosmic, and you need to be super. This takes practice, okay? Let me get one more card for you. You are supernatural. You are phenomenal. You have so much power. Way beyond the devil's sour. I am confident and my personal power and abilities. Confirmation. I have a specific purpose for specific people with specific abilities. And that's why you have nothing to fear. Okay? This ain't for everybody. Because not everybody's chosen. Nothing else for me to say about that. A lot of people have been called, but they didn't choose the path. I'm gonna stop right there, cause I'm gonna stop right there, cause okay, that's fun. All right, that's it for now. Oh, 3 journal prompts. Okay, right. I gotta finish making these earrings. What I do with the little bar? 3 journal prompts to help you face this truth about why you don't trust yourself to hold success and how to handle that. Okay. Number 1, what part of your success feels threatening instead of exciting? Be honest. Okay. And then number 2, where do I underprice, overgive, or hide to stay safe? It's not godly. God is not a God of fear. Okay? All right? And then number 3, who would I become if I trusted myself with more responsibility and reward? Huh? All right. Those are your 3 journal prompts. Remember, we don't hide from the truth. We handle it sovereignly. Peace, y'all.